Come on over. All right, so we'll start with you because you were hiding from me earlier today. So Kate, tell us a little bit about what you do and how you're involved with the cloud, and then feel free to pass the microphone around.
Sounds good. So I'm on the product management team for DevOps services, and I focus on user growth and kind of in particular in-market experiments, which are really only possible because it's a cloud offering. So we're able to kind of test out new features and capabilities and stuff because DevOps services is hosted in the cloud. And if anyone wants to kind of try out some of the labs that we have right in this area here in the PitStop, we're doing a bunch of different hands-on labs where you can try and kind of develop and deploy an application in the cloud using a bunch of different cloud services.
What labs are they?
Oh, so we have a Watson lab, we have a mobile quality assurance lab, we also have kind of a Twitter sentiment analysis lab, so you can try those out right there.
I'm Jeff Reynes. I'm a cloud sales specialist with SoftLayer Technologies, which is a recent IBM acquisition. SoftLayer specializes in infrastructure as a service, cloud, physical bare metal servers, storage, kind of compute on demand, very scalable, very diverse network, and very geographically distributed data center footprint.
Hi, I'm John Arway. I work with Cloud and Smarter Infrastructure, where we're doing things like offering software as a service for monitoring for asset management built on the Bluemix platform. I'm also involved with some of the OSLC and linked data work that Rational's been involved with for CLM lifecycle integration for some time. And I do standardization work of the linked data with OSLC and W3C.
Hello, I'm Philippe Muret. I'm based in France. I'm involved in the DevOps services development. So we are actually powering the DevOps services that you see at Bluemix, some of them at least. And so our challenge is really that when our services, which are development services, our tools are running in the context of the cloud, like you really need to care about like uptime and all those concepts that usually you did not have at the beginning of the day. So cloud exposure.
Hi, I'm Sanjay Joshi. I'm part of the IBM JStart Emerging Technologies and Client Engagement Group. Right now I'm focused on cloud-related projects and really focused on Bluemix, doing proof of concepts with clients, doing workshops and exploring different use cases to kind of see where we can take and innovate this awesome platform that we're about to show you. So.
All right, now I have a few questions for you guys. I'll pass it along to an individual, and then if any of you have anything to add, feel free to grab the microphone and continue answering. Jeff, I'm going to start with you. Now, the cloud is kind of, by its nature, a nebulous thing, but how would you describe the cloud? What is the cloud?
At SoftLayer, we view the cloud as more of a capacity and compute on demand. Many people look at it as it always has to be a virtualized instance or something virtualized. We look at it as long as you can get your compute, your storage, your load balancers, your firewalls, any bit of your infrastructure in a very rapid fashion, in a compute or consumptive type of billing method, that's what we refer to as cloud. Not just a virtual server, but a physical server, or any of the attributes or ancillary type services you might need with that.
All right. All right, fine. John, tell me something about the cloud that I don't know. That's actually a lot, so try to keep your answer brief.
Well, to some degree, I alluded to it before. Cloud infrastructure has right now 5 different offerings, software as a service offerings built on the Bluemix platform. One's in beta, the other 4 are just generally available. 3 of them have been out there since February. So you can do anything from asset management to inventory management, through application monitoring, workload automation, and control desk, general IT management sorts of things for process management. And some of those, like the performance management piece, are also available as Bluemix services themselves.
And Kate, tell me a misconception about the cloud that you hear about a lot.
So a lot of people think that the cloud isn't secure. That's a big one. So I guess you all can kind of back me up a little bit on why that's not true.
Again, I think many people think that as a virtual environment, so it's multi-tenant. And when you start sharing things and resources and compute with other companies, that is a fear of people. But again, they're looking at cloud as always a multi-tenant environment where it doesn't have to be. As long as you can get a full physical box or a dedicated storage solution in real time that's very scalable, you now solve that security issue. You've also solved a lot of the issues from compliances such as HIPAA, PCI, and many of the other things many people are scared of on cloud computing.
And Philippe, what do you think is the biggest mistake that people make when they're working with the cloud?
That's a good one. So the one mistake I often see is like sometimes the misconception that when you're forging application that we see many examples where it's very easy because you clone and customize little things, but you really have to actually think also how does it play with the I'm a DevOps person, so your dev experience, right? And how do you tie the two? And some misconception is that you could do everything sometimes in this runtime environment, and that we need to actually bridge you over to development tools for the development activities. So trying to untangle the two aspects of your activities so that you get the best out of the cloud, really. That's one of the things we're struggling with.
And finally, Sanjay, how do you generate revenue with the cloud? I heard you had a particular anecdote that you wanted to share.
Yeah, so I think one of the areas when you think about a platform is, is it just consumption or really just creating applications and using the platform to host things and develop and innovate? Well, we actually, after working with a lot of clients, we hear or we see light bulbs go off when we start talking about where's your cost centers? What are things that you guys today are feeling as a non-revenue generating activity? And actually, could you create, a service around that and actually start to sell it even to your competitors or to other application developers? So one in particular was a bank who had to do some money transfers, and it was a statutory requirement that they do it. And they had to figure out and calculate things. They saw it as a cost overhead, but then pretty soon some of their competitors were saying, hey, do you have that web service? Could we pay you and consume that web service? Because we don't want to have to carry the overhead of actually running that algorithm. And they ended up turning it into something that they were making money on. So just food for thought.
All right, well, that's it for our little interview here. Now our experts are going to be around to chat with you guys and mingle. If you want to grab some coffee or tea, we have that available. It's a little bit early for a blue hurricane, but I'm not going to judge you if you find one around. And if you want to make sure you check out our DevOps Pit Crew meetup later today, at 6 o'clock. And we'll see you guys then. Thank you so much.